Namaskar. I'm Dr. Nalini Avinash Wagmare, working as an associate professor at Tilak Maharashtra Vidyapeeth, Pune. Today, our topic is status of women in ancient India. To study this topic, we have to refer various sources, as well as position of women in Vedic period, position of women in later Vedic period, then eminent women in Vedic period, women in religions, as well as women position in Hinduism, Jainism, Buddhism. Conclusion and few references we have to refer for it. Then what were the literary sources to understand the position of women in ancient period? First of all, Brahmanical literature, under that the Vedas, Brahmanas and Upanishads, Vedangas, Upavedas, Sutras, epics, Puranas, biographical works, chronicle Shastras on politics and grammar, classical Sanskrit literature. The ancient Indian literature is mostly religious in nature. The Puranic and epic literature are considered as history by Indians, but it contains no definite dates for events and kingdoms. The effort of history writing was shown by a large number of inscriptions, coins, and local chronicles. The principles of history are preserved in the Puranas and epics. The Puranas and epics narrate the genealogy of the kings and their achievements, but they are not arranged in chronological order. Then in Vedic literature, the Vedic literature contain mainly the four Vedas, that is Rig Veda, Yajurveda, Samaveda, and Atharvaveda. The Vedas give reliable information about the culture and civilization of Vedic period. Then Vedangas, the six Vedangas are the important limbs of Vedas. They are evolved for the proper understanding of the Vedas. The Vedangas are Siksha, Kalpa, Vyakarna, Nirukta, Chanda, Jyotisha. The Vedanga has been written in the precepts sutra form. This is a very precise and exact form of expression in prose, which was developed by the scholars of ancient India. Then in the later Vedic period, the later Vedic literature includes the Brahmanas, Aranyakas, and the Upanishads. Brahmanas gives a description of Vedic rituals, practices, and other things. Then Aranyakas and Upanishads give speeches on different spiritual and philosophical problems. Puranas are 18 in number and they give more, mainly information about historical accounts. Then sacred as well as archival and non-archival sources also very important to us to study the women's position in Vedic period or later Vedic period. Under that, the sacred and non-sacred texts are there. Sacred already I explained. In under that also epics, diaries, memories, autobiographies, fiction songs, folklore, photographs, paintings, oral history, also one more source to understand the position of women. Even nowadays, if you want to do new research, then we have to refer the government files, official reports, census, and private papers when we are going to study the comparison study of Vedic period and later Vedic period. Then what was the family background of that period? Joint family system was existing at the time. The basic unit of social structure was the joint family. The head of the family had vast powers over the members, powers which the Rajan recognized. He was strict in exacting obedience, but he was not cruel. No child marriage system was existing at the time. There is no evidence of child marriage in the Rig Vedic. Love marriage could take place. The dowry system was not the rule, but the girls with some disadvantage has to given dowries. Then monogamy, the general rule was monogamy. Although there are few references to polygamy practicing that time, there is no reference to polyandry existing at that time. There was no selection or further system was existing. There are freely participate in social, educational, and religious functions. Otherwise, there was no polygamy except among the Rajans when the Rajans developed into an aristocracy. Morality is considered as the highest at that time. The standard of morality was very high. A woman had to maintain her chastity and guard her virtue, or else society condemned her. However, much latitude was allowed to the male. Both male and female has to practice ethics and morality in their life. Then the position of woman widow was very satisfactory. There was no sati system in the Rigvedic period. The tragedy is that while in the other civilization, the status of women is at first low and then gradually improves. In India, the status of women is first very high, later on gradually decreased one. That time the learned women is also there. Some family practices also there. In the later Vedic period, the Brahmins introduced the complicated rituals, most of which are related to family life, from conception up to death, even beyond death as also. The Garbhadharana, Uma Savana, Jatakarma, Namakarma, Chudakarma, then Upanayana Sanskar, Samavarthana, that is the right performed on the completion of studies, which also mark the completion of first stage of ashrama, that is a brahmacharya ashrama later. Then the student now returned home from the Gurukula and was ready to earn a living to get married. Then Sahadharmacharini Samyoga. This was the marriage ceremony also known as Vivava, which continued till today also. The rite marked the beginning of the second stage of ashrama. The lad is no longer student but an adult householder having all the responsibility of married life practice in this sanskara. The joint family system continue even is emphasis on healthy moral relationship between the different members of the family. The family was patriarchal and the patriarchy had great powers over the family members. But the patriarchy was not so much feared as loved and respected. In the family, they have to maintain some disciplines, morality, obedience to elders, for the various family members, hospitality to guests, etc. were greatly cherished, and these practices at the time till today also when we find the joint family system, we find these things. Then age of marriage in the later, in the early Vedic, there is no record, but in the later Vedic, we find that the girls were married after the puberty. The custom of child marriage became the rule of after about the second century AD. Then polygamy was practiced by the upper classes, but monogamy was perhaps more common. So how the Vedic period to later Vedic period, the position of women is changed. Then daughter is a source of misery. So in the early Vedic period, daughter is considered when she take birth, they consider very happily all family members. But in later Vedic period, the misery taken our home. They are considered that one. So some evil practices also started in the later Vedic period, like dowry system, child marriage, and sati practicing. Then in Hinduism, what was the position of women in Hindu religion? Brahmavadin is found in Rig Veda. They compose also hymns or sutras or mantras. They are Gargi, Ghosha, Vishwara, Lopamudra, Apala, Shraddha, Yami, Divyani, Goda. These are the women's philosophers also. They compose the hymns at that time. Even oral education system existed in that time. Women allowed to get their own choice of field for education, high status in the society, and freedom to education in the Hindu religion. In later Vedic period, the position was decreased. Even in the right side, I had added few photos where the goddesses worship in the power of spirit, knowledge, and Shakti Rupa also. Then in status of the poets, chariots, dancers also existing in Vedic period. Then girl child was called Dutra. Then marriage was a sacrament at that time. Swayamvar system also existing in Vedic period. Sri Dhana also practicing family setup marriage system. Brahmavadin is found in Vedic period. Then in overall conclusion, we can say that the position of women in Vedic period very good, but later Vedic period it was changed. And a few women also composed the hymns and all other things. Even women deities also worship, even like the Aditi, Prithvi, Saraswati, Indrayani, Usha, Rati. So these all things are we find. Then later Vedic period, this system was changed. Sprusha, asprusha, touchable, untouchable things are took place in later Vedic period. Women are not participate in religious functions and not restricted to her in some fields. Sunburn birth is called as a great news for all family members. And Dharma Patni is given importance. Then women is considered inferior to men in this later Vedic period. Polygamy became common. Then Vrata practices, we taking all these things, fast, vratas, etc. practice in later Vedic period. Kanya Sulka bride price also started in this later Vedic period. Gruha Sutras give some sutras to women practice when she is at home. Even a type of marriages system started in later Vedic period. So a yoga system also started, but there was no further system existed in later Vedic period. Restricted to women get the education in few fields. Then we find the what was the position of women in Jainism. 3,600 women at the time of Mahavira. They also participated in that time. Jain sannyasis and family life is also good in the Jainism time. Mother is also given the highest status in the religion. There was the system of farda in royal families, but in commonly they not practice that time. Property rights to widows also given. Jain nuns also get the spiritual knowledge and participate in religion functions. Then four type of marriage system at the time. Pativratam system is also existing in Jain period also. Then in Buddhism, Buddha was given equal rights to women participate in every field without no discrimination on the basis of caste, community, and sex. So he given equal rights to women to participate in his sanghas. Buddhists respect more to women also, even given the prostitutes also get the spiritual knowledge and given entered in their sanghas. Pativata Vrata system also existing in Buddhist period. Jatka stories give a lot of information about the family, women position, and nuns and all other things. Early marriage, the three types of marriages existed in Buddha's period. Then customary status of women in ancient period also. Uh, Again, the Brahmavadin is found in ancient period. Women get their oral education system exist at that time. High status in the society also there. Then legal rights, property rights, marriage rights, widow remarriage rights also existed in ancient period. So women are enjoying in ancient period. Then these are the reference you can refer for the more information, that is cultural history of India, L. Bhasham book, as well as K. Nilkanth Shastri book also there. Then Rumila Thapar book, History and Beyond, History of India from earliest time to 1300. So D.N. Zha book, History of Ancient India, there you can get information about this. So this is the brief highlights of position of women in ancient India. You can refer for detail, you can refer these books. Thank you.